What's up YouTube, Jamie the Kid 00 here, coming to you guys with Mermails for the April 2014 Limited and Forbidden list. You guys, well, ever since I announced the list and ever since I did my list review video yesterday, literally the biggest thing I've been asked is how would you play Mermails in this format, because Mermail was my favourite deck from the last format, and I figured I'd throw together at least a brew variant at this point, deck profile of what I would play for this format. This is very, very brew oriented, and I wanted to make it a little more different than what I'd probably actually run. What I'd actually run would be very, very similar to what has been run in the past, because not much changed. We only saw Gund go to 1. That was about it. That was it for this deck. That was the only thing that touched this deck. So there's not going to be that many changes. This is still going to be very, very meta Mermails, but I've tried to make it a little bit more radical for your viewing pleasure. But I'd probably scale it back when you actually see a tournament diary of this. I'll probably be scaling it back. So we're going to start off with the one lead. Lead is still incredible. It gets you back your Squall or your Sphere after you've used it, which is pretty damn good, and it's a 2700 beta. It's something that I frequently side out, but in game 1 it can put in a lot of work. So lead. 2 Megalo. This is something that I want to test again. I'm playing the Undine in this variant, so I want to play a little bit more focus on the Megalos than I used to. Admittedly, you can get to it when you need to because of Undine and Dragoons, but I still want to test 2, play the deck a bit more aggressively. Megalo is really nice because it sets up your Sphere. If I have to, I'll go back to 1, but 2 is something I wanted to test. 3 Teus, you still have to play the 3 Teus. It searches out your 1 Gund, searches out all your combo pieces like your Pikes, etc, etc. The 3 Lind, we still need our 3 Lind for our 3 Sphere. Lind is still incredibly good. I'm really happy neither Lind or Teus got hit. I was really expecting Teus or Sphere to get hit, but that was that. So those, moving on to the one-ofs. 1 Gund, this, I'm not gonna lie, this hurts the deck more than you may think. Kick the tripod, Jamie, kick the tripod. This hurts the deck a little more than you may think. It shuts the deck out of its rank 4 plays, which is kind of awkward for it. You just dial back your focus on those 4 plays. You make moves around different plays. It's really not that hard to move around. It's just sometimes you have to spend a turn or spend a Turge getting it back to your hand so you can reset your field. But if you use a Sphere and a normal summon, you can make some pretty big plays anyway. So I have no complaints. The deck could have been hit a lot worse. I'm going back to testing Mermail Abyssdine. Mermail Abyssdine was something that I tested a little while ago. I did eventually cut, sadly. But this is something that I want to test, and I'm actually going to talk about the theory for a moment, as a pseudo Abyssgunde. Now, in certain situations, this play does generate less profit, less card advantage than the Gund play. But in a lot of situations, you found yourself going early game, Lind, just setting Lind with Gund in hand. Lind gets killed. Your first play would then be, I don't know, special summon Pike, pitch Gund, do a search, and then special summon back the Lind. So you're now left with Pike, Lind, and a search level 3. Usually another Gund. So you had pretty good plus. This deck can kind of do the same thing with Dine, because when Dine is special summoned, it will get you back a level 3 or lower Mermail from grave, so it'll get you back the Lind. And if they're then unable to kill the Lind again, you now have a Lind set up with a level 3 on field. You can make your rank 3 plays, which are quite strong in this. You can make all sorts of things with that. So it kind of fills in for that Gund play, which I find myself quite frequently making, so it replaces that a little bit. But having 1 Gund still reduces your versatility. You really want to hold it for those essential 4 plays. So that's why the Dine is in here. Dine is in here to give us easier revival Xyz plays without using our Gund, basically. And then the last 3 I play is Mermail Abyssocea, because the Abyssocea combo is still a thing, still very strong, and combo plays are pretty good. Especially when, again, you want to avoid using the Gund, so you want to make combo plays without using the Gund, and this card gives you combos. So that is I probably shouldn't be picking this up yet, but that's the 3s. The 4s are still the same for now. I'm playing triple Pike to get us to our Undine, our Ocea, our Gund if we need it. 3 Pike is still there. Double Turge. I did talk in the ban list video about switching to 3 Turge and 2 Pike, but at the moment I still feel that theory-wise 2 Turge is the best, because it is a dead draw. I did say in my last, in my regional report, which I still haven't posted up at time of filming, it should be up. It was filmed Sunday. This is really dead in hand really early, so you don't want to be playing 3 of this, in my opinion. But 2 is the maximum. 2-3 is a good number. So for now, I'm going to stick to two Turge. Then for the Atlanteans, 1 Dragoons, searching out your Sea Serpent plays. Double Marksman. You want the double Marksman. You need this against Gear Gear now because Gear Gear didn't see a hit. So going into the format quite early on, I feel that Gear Gear is going to be quite popular. So the Marksmen are in there. These are also pretty good in things like the Bujin matchup, which is going to be even more popular because of the ARGCS, where Bujin's won that. So you're going to want to have those outs. This is good against the Bujin back row. So clearing that back row is one step towards then focusing on the Yamato. And then the final Atlantean I do play is 1 Heavy Infantry. This is the Undyne variant. So Heavy Infantry is in here. You can search it with Dragoons. It's a little bit more valid, so Infantry is in here. And I'm playing an old favourite spell, which makes this card good. And then finally, for kind of just water support, I play double Aqua Spirit. Your rank 4 plays are still some of your strongest plays in the deck, so you still want to have access to those. Your Aqua Spirits are going to be a bit more of a precious resource, and I'd consider going up to 3. Because of the lack of Gund, this basically fills in where the Gund once was. So 2 to 3 Aqua Spirit is a good number in the new build. Then I play 1 Undyne, 1 Controller, and 1 Title. The Undyne I went back to because I want more consistency. I'll tell you now, I'm playing Salvage in this deck. I wanted to be able to Dragoons for my Infantry pretty damn fast. Set up things in the grave so that the Salvage is going to be live as fast as possible. This I can make live again with Transmigration, which I'm playing in this, which we'll get to in a minute. So there's a lot of interactions which I was thinking of when I was putting this together. Yes, again, this is all brew theory interactions, but it's still interactions. And otherwise, Undyne just gets me quick access to things like Megalo, and I was considering putting Diva back in here, but I just couldn't find the extra deck space. So that's the monster lineup. It's still pretty huge. I've now cut the Hoban lineup. You'll see in my tournament diary, whichever one of these is posted first. You'll see in my Bristol Regionals tournament report. I really didn't like Upstart and Reckless, so I've cut those because they're terrible, in my opinion. I do play 2 Salvage in my new build. Yes, they are really bad early game, but the trick is Undyne basically makes this live by burying a card. You get to your Undyne stupidly quick with Pike, and you get to Pike stupidly quick with Lind or Teus or Megalo's Sphere. So you have a lot of cards that get the Salvages live very, very quickly. So you just have to bear in mind that these do get live pretty quick. They are going to be dead in the very first hand, but turn 2, hopefully, you'll be able to at least make them usable, and then they'll only get better as the game goes on, especially when you use your Gund. When you have this in hand, you can feel free to use your Gund as fast as possible, as long as your opponent doesn't know you're playing this, because then they might Mind Crush you, because Mind Crush is becoming very popular. I then play triple MST. Those are my only spells. I don't feel that there are any other spells that are really needed, apart from Avarice, which is banned. I really miss Avarice. But that's that spell lineup. For the traps, double Breakthrough. I still think Breakthrough is really, really strong, especially in the Fire matchup. Gear Gear matchup, which is going to become bigger. Bujin matchup, which is going to become bigger. It's just good. Then 1 Torrential, 1 Warning. Those are my only real traps, quote unquote. And then for Archetype traps and just non-real traps, I play 3 Sphere. Sphere has become a lot stronger now because you need to focus on this instead of your Gund pushes, so Sphere is going to become a much more precious resource. 1 Squall because, hey, Return from the Different Dimension was a good card. Again, you can't focus on your Gund that much anymore, you have to focus on this, which is why there's double Megalo in here, because the double Megalo gets you to it quicker. So you can see all the interactions that I was trying to think of to get you to bigger game-winning pushes quicker. And then the last card I play is one absolutely knackered copy of Transmigration of Prophecy, the Transmigration Prophecy, sorry. This is a theory card that I want to test because there are certain cards in the deck which are very, very good for you to put back. Namely, and this is the main one, the Gen X Controller, because you can salvage back your Undyne. You can also find yourself putting back the Mermail Abyssdine to the deck, so you can search it off. You can special summon it off of Lind again if you so have to. It just sets things up, but it's also pretty nice in the Prophecy matchup because it can put things. It can put your opponent's books back in the deck to make their fate less live. It can also have a pretty cool effect when your opponent drops their 1 Wolfbark, and you can put the target back in the deck, and that 1 Wolfbark is now dead. Like they activate Wolfbark targeting. You chain this, you put that card back, and have one of your own. It's just really nice, and it's also good against the opponent's 1 Gund. So this is just something I wanted to test out. It's a theory card, but in theory it shuts out some of the cards that have now gone to 1. makes their effects useless. So I guess Crow does the same thing, but Transmigration's cool, and it helps me out as well. It sets me up with better plays. So that's the entire main deck. It should be exactly 40 cards. I'm going to move on to the extra deck. I don't have a sideboard built currently. You can just look at some of my older videos for side decks. So side deck really wouldn't change that much because the meta's not going to change much. But we're going to get into this. There's one proxy because one of my cards is still on loan to a friend of mine because he went to another regionals. But this is the extra deck. I played one Black Rose because you play 4s and Genex Controller. And Leo is in here to make Genex Controller even more live with Tidal, so hey, that's why they're in here. For the rank 3s, one Mecha Engineer for the play, and it's pretty cool in general. One Levier because Abysdine plays are pretty good. My favourite play ever is my opponent goes. I set Lind. My opponent summons one monster, attacks the Lind. Lind dies, gets me Abysdine. Abysdine special summons back Lind, so I now have 2 level 3s. I have Aqua Spirit in hand, so I go overlay into this, see if they warning. I mean, if they don't, then it's got that out of the way. I ignore the warning theory because I just remembered it special summons. So you overlay into this, you drop Aqua Spirit by banishing, say, an extra water that you had in grave, if you have the extra water. The best play ever with this is, sorry, I've screwed it up. You have to have a Pike in grave or a level 4. You have the Lind. The Lind dies, gets you a Dine. If they both survive, you can go Levier, banish Pike for Aqua Spirit, revive Pike with this, you make a 4 play, you make Bahamut Shark, and you make cool plays like that. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired. It's like my first day off my assignments in ages, so I'm actually trying to build decks for videos. Carrying on with the 3s, Alucard. Alucard is just really, really strong at the moment. I really like Alucard in the meta. It shuts down so much setting, it's ridiculous. This card wins you the Gigia matchup on its own. It's really good at just dealing with back row options so that you can then go off with your special summons, like your Aqua Spirits, your Titles, things like that. This card is great for clearing the Bottomless as well. The Bottomless is one of the cards this deck really fears because it really wants its Title to stick, and if Title gets Bottomless, you're in a bad place. And I then play double Abyss Trite, because double Abyss Trite is good. You have the play, make the play. So double Trite. Then for the 4s, I play one Bahamut Shark for Abyss Trites, one Abyss Dweller for the mirror match, and other decks that this just shuts down, like Dark World. 1/1 Silent Monarch. You still have to play this because it's still, in my opinion, the best rank 4 in the game. Exciton Knight, the second best rank 4. You still have to play the EK. Especially now that your advantage engine isn't going to be as strong, you will find yourself going minus a little bit more, so Exciton is probably going to be played a little bit more. And then finally, this should be a Lavalval Chain, but my Lavalval Chain is on loan. But there should be a Lavalval Chain in here for setting up that title. And then finally, I play 3 7s. I don't play the 4th 7 anymore because of the lack of Gund. Yes, you have the titles, but sometimes there were Gund plays where you were reviving like your lead to go with your Megalo or your Teus. But now you're not going to be using your gun that often. So you've got the one Draco, the one Big Eye, and the one Abysskios. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed. This has been my first deck profile of the April 2014 Limited and Forbidden list. I've had a lot of fun making this brew list. It's definitely a deck that I'll probably be playing until I get more comfortable in the format. But to be honest, not a lot has changed. I'm probably going to play Mermail for Nats, probably something like that, something I've played already. I'm definitely going to build Fire now because Fire is going to be cheaper and it's not that bad. So look forward to those. Look forward to more deck profiles. I'm going to be doing quite a few because this is a really good time for me to do deck profiles. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed. This has been Jamie the Kid 00 and I'll see you guys next time with some more Yu-Gi-Oh related content. Peace out.